Massage therapist or masseuse, have you ever had a session turn sexual with a client? How did it go down? My massage therapist told me of a time a very hot woman was in for the first time. He told her to undress to her comfort level and left for her to do so. Usually at this point you then lay down under the sheet. But he entered a few minutes later to find her sitting naked in a chair asking what she should do next. He gives more detailed instructions now. Yup. Happened to a co-worker. But it was an older man. She opened the door and said "Fpeep no" and slammed it shut. She then opened the door slightly and made sure he understood to lie down on the table under the blanket. Having never been to a massage parlor, I would have done the same. Typically the spiel I give is undress to your level of comfort. For women it's typically no bra, underwear, down to underwear. Lie down on your back under the sheet and blanket as I pull the blanket back to show them. If it was a first timer, I'm much more clear in my instructions and go over them like 3 times. Mostly because of stories like this. When I was a teenager, my friend's mom was a massage therapist. One day when I went over there to hang out, she had a brand new RAV4 in the driveway. Me and my other friends always made jokes about how she gave happy endings. Riffing off what her job was, your mom jokes were popular for us then. Well, when we started asking him how his mom got a brand new 35k premium package RAV4, he told us one of his mom's clients gave it to her for free. The jokes suddenly were too awkward to tell anymore. Alright, if handjobs are paying 35k these days, where can I sign up? Sure, it'll be gross, and I'll probably cry the whole time. But 2 hand DJs, and I don't have to work for a year. Deal. Some people pay extra for the crying. Former esthetician here. Not a masseuse. But I performed waxing on all parts of the body, so I certainly have a story or two. So, there's the Brazilian wax, which is everything gone from your downstairs, front and back. Salons have a male version they cheekily like to call manzillions. I've had a number of these, and without fail, when it comes time to take the towel away and start, there's at least a semi-chub going on. I'd explain that this happens with everyone, as penises aren't very self-aware. They just know they are out. There's a lady, and they are just happy to be there. I'd then place my first strip of wax, let it set, then re-pipe, and it would be like letting the air out of a balloon. Strangely, I never got any phone numbers. Oh, and to do your butthole you have to be on all fours. Big missed opportunity to call it a Brazilian. In the game BitLife it actually is called the Brazilian package, and it says you get your back, sack, and crack waxed. Just curious, is an ethics class part of the course when getting your massage license? In the US anyways, yes. But that only matters if you want to get or maintain a license. If you want a quick buck off peep, then it doesn't matter. That's just called prostitution or rape, depending. I had a very sweet female client face up and was massaging through her neck and occipital muscles, the base of her skull, when she leaned her face over and kind of pressed her cheek into my forearm and side nuzzled against me. She's just someone who totally zones out during massage, so while it wasn't overtly sexual, it certainly was an unusually intimate gesture. She snapped out of it in when I adjusted myself away from her cheek as soon as possible without being jarring, and blushed with immediate embarrassment. Other than that, I have a few clients, male and female, who make oddly sexual noises, but no other obvious signs of arousal with some of them. I'm prepared for the worst when I ask them to turn over onto their backs. I think some of them may be getting more out of the treatment than I intend. But nothing untoward has happened, although we have had some people email and phone us to ask us if we do that kind of thing. If I wanted to jerk people off for money, I could do that without going through 3 years of school and paying annual professional dues. My spouse, who is also a therapist, had a teenage male client of hers reach his hand out to touch her thigh while she was standing next to the table, and she politely and firmly shut him down. That's about as bad as it's gotten so far. First paragraph sounds like something from an anime. Okay, so I'm a massage therapist. I was working out of a gym and the guy asked for a 30-minute massage on his legs and abs because he was a runner. Nothing unusual about that request. So I finished massaging his legs and was massaging his abs. I pull down the sheet to his hips so his abs are exposed. He is completely naked under the sheet, not unusual, but the sheet is covering his privates. As I'm massaging his abs, he reaches his hand up to scratch his nose, but when his hand goes back down he accidentally pulled down the sheet to expose his junk. I'm not bothered, I just pull the sheet back up over his junk and keep working. Then the sheet accidentally slipped down his hip again, exposing his dick again. I cover him up again and keep massaging his abs as that is what he asked for. Then it happens again. So this time I grabbed the sheet and tucked it under his hips this time and kept working without a word. He didn't try again. I continued as if nothing had happened, finished the massage like a professional, and sent him on his way, and thankfully he never came back. Edit. Typo, I meant massage therapist. Boy has one wrong letter caused a lot of comments, lol. Edit 2. I apparently didn't describe this clear enough. The guy's penis was resting in the up position on his lower abs inches from where I was massaging his abs. So when he exposed his dick multiple times it became clear that he was hoping that I'd massage his dick instead of his abs. Holy speep, I read that as lasagna therapist. Boy, do I hate Mondays. One of my friend's exes was a massage therapist. She said she constantly had people asking for handjobs or to wear a low-cut shirt and such. Don't actual places for that exist in every major city? Why bother someone who could lose their job over it? Chances of them calling the cops is low. Going to an own rub and tug could be a great chance to get arrested for prostitution and in trouble with a wife. YTF, is everyone's mom a massage therapist? Most therapists don't massage 40 hours a week. Most therapists work non-traditional hours. Combine the two, and you have an excellent profession for women who need to provide childcare. Plus the schooling it takes often is offered on nights and weekends, and can be completed way shorter than a 2 or 4 year degree. My mom is a massage therapist. She has worked at several chiropractic offices. Oftentimes, if you're good enough and trustworthy enough, the chiropractors will give you the keys, so you can see clients on the weekends. I once had to take an Uber to her work when she was scheduled to massage this one guy. He was married and new to the US. He had been sending messages to my mom, which made her question his intent, but chalked it up to him not speaking a lot of English. I get a call from her telling me to Uber to her place of work as soon as possible. Apparently the guy had sent a message with this code phrase that in the massage world means things are going to become sexual. So I'm the first to arrive. My mom gets there and tries to downplay the situation to make herself feel better by saying things like, well, maybe he just didn't know what that meant. I could be drawing a conclusion that isn't true. He has a wife after all. Man comes in with candy and flowers. He sees me sitting in the chair really confused. Hands them to my mom. She massages him. He pays her. Gives me a sideways glance. And leaves. Son joins mother to give stress relieving massage to foreign guy. MP4. This is the best one. Waiter, one please. My stepdad is a professional massage therapist. Asking him for stuff like that is answered with a no, and continuing means you're no longer a client. Stepdad. Huh. I think that they had to find a new massage therapist. Edit. Thank you for the gold. As much as it is appreciated, just do a kind deed for a stranger instead, and save your money. Maybe give someone a massage when they are asleep on the bus. Must be nice to wake up that. How I Met Your Mother. Not my story, but a co-worker's. He was giving a massage to a client and things were getting flirty. She was an attractive woman and he pushed it. Well, I guess he sucked at reading clues, because she was married and was being friendly. She filed a complaint on him, and he ended up losing his license. How did he push it? Asked her or tried to escalate by being a bit more intimate with his massage. I don't recall exactly, just that he tried to escalate by being a bit more intimate with his massage. It's a terrible idea. Misread her sign and you're essentially sexually assaulting her. He's lucky he only lost his job. Cold been criminally charged as well. Happened to a former friend of mine. Misread some signs, or created imaginary signs in his mind. Tried to escalate the massage by massaging a more intimate area. She shut it down and called the cops. He ended up being convicted of some degree of sexual assault for the attempted or actual digital penetration. Sentenced to a year in a workhouse and pretty much lost everything in his life. This right here is why the answer to this question is 110% always doesn't matter if they are pushing it. I'm at work and I'm a professional. I'm not gonna randomly finger a client. Doesn't matter if they are pushing it. I'm at work and I'm a professional. I'm not gonna randomly finger a client. An especially good rule for those who aren't message therapists. My mom was a massage therapist for a few years. Never shared when she had issues like that. But there was one couple who would come in for separate sessions about every 2 to 3 weeks. Apparently one day, the wife jokes that the massages are better than sex. My mom, since they're all on good terms, jokes with the husband about it the next time he's in. He pulls his head out of the pillow long enough to say, "Don't make me choose. I can't choose." Edit. He was saying he couldn't choose between sex with his wife vs a massage from my mom. I was totally expecting this to take a turn somewhere, and I'm glad it didn't. I'm a physiotherapist, but I have extensive training in deep tissue massage and dry needling. Pretty much every time I treat my girlfriend it ends with sex. Probably the closest thing to a answer you're gonna get. You're probably not gonna hear any stories about people with licenses doing anything sexual with someone, as if it ever got out they would immediately lose their billing number. But I will say I've worked in a gym before where the RMT was sleeping with a few of his patients in and outside of the gym. What is dry needling? I think it's when a guy with a really thin penis tries to have sex with a woman, but she isn't turned on at all. Or as I call it, normal sex.